Time with Biloneni.
All right, beautiful people. All right, so today I want to talk to you about what I call manifesting the life you desire. Manifesting the life you desire. So I'm going to dive into this subject. So I want you to come with me and stay with me. Don't go nowhere until we're done with this presentation. So when we talk about manifesting your desire, that looks or sound, you know, a little cliche, like unreal. Like, how do you manifest your desire? But literally, everybody have the power within themselves to manifest whatever we want. Now, the reason we think is strange or is nearly impossible is because we've not given thoughts to it, or we've not considered the elements of ourselves that can help a person actually manifest their desires. And today I'm going to dig into some of that with you. Now, there's a thing that I'm going to talk about today. Let me make a few notes here. So today I'm going to be writing a lot, so you stay with me. So manifesting your desires is the main subject, that I'm going to be dealing with. But subsequently, what I want to deal with is something I call the subconscious mind. Now, this is a part of the human mind that a lot of people do not pay attention to. And today I want to deal with this aspect of our mind, because everything that our life technically entails is hugely influenced by this guy here. But we do not pay attention to this guy. Now, there are two aspects of a person's mind or a person's brain: the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Let me just put the conscious mind somewhere here. Conscious mind. Now, that's not my main focus, but just let me put it here. Now, today my focus is the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind, there's a book I want to recommend to you. You can read that after. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. So you have some further, thing to go study about. It's a very powerful book. It talks about the subconscious mind, in that respect. So please do well to read that. Now, I want to differentiate between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. A lot of us are used to the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is the aspect of your mind that I call it the present moment thought. Like the things happening around you now, right now. The right now, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what is coming to you, your thoughts that are coming to you right now. That's your conscious mind. The one that you're aware of right now and you can actually control or do something about in the present moment. That is your conscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind, however, is a part of your mind that is a little evasive. It's in there, but you don't have direct control over your subconscious mind. It's a part of your mind that has stored up information, stored up things that have been given to it by yourself. Somewhere, somehow, through the things that you hear, you see, and all of that. I'll deal with that aspect, how these things come to you. But then these things are stored here in the form of memory, in the form of emotions and all of that, but they're hidden down there. And over time, this aspect of your mind that I'm talking about, which I'm going to break down some more, tends to eventually influence your entire life. Think about it for a second. That there's a part of your brain that over time influences your entire life. What you're becoming, what you're receiving, what you're doing, all of that is influenced by this guy here. So my question will be, why would somebody not pay attention to this guy here? If this guy has the power to influence your life, what your life is actually becoming, where you are right now, why are we not paying attention to this guy? And that's what we want to deal with it. Because if we can deal with this guy very well, we'll be able to manifest anything that we desire in our lives. And it will look like magic when we're talking about these things. It looks like magic, but it's real. And it's happening every day. You have to decide whether or not it's something you want or you don't want. Now, there's something I always tell people, that life is full of laws. The world is full of a lot of laws. And you can decide to say that, hey, this is true or that is not true. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works. It's like somebody saying that, oh, I don't believe in the law of gravity. I mean, drop from a plane, let them drop you from a plane and see if you come down or not. You don't have to believe it for the law to work. So at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is real. Thousands of people have tried it. They've experimented it and it works. So hey, I suggest you pay attention and see how you can deal with this guy here. And I'm telling you, when you're able to deal with this guy very well, your life is going to take a very serious turn than you can ever imagine. Now, so the conscious mind refers to your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions, things that you're aware of all the time. That is your conscious mind. And of course, the subconscious mind, like I said, is a mind that the part of your mind that stores information and influences your behavior without you actively thinking about it. I want you to take note of that. Without you actively thinking about it. So there's a part of you that influences your entire life, but you don't have to think about it. It's just happening. As I'm talking to you now, it's happening. It's influencing the things that are coming out of my mouth. It's influencing who I'm becoming every day. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is actually playing a huge role in that. So why won't we pay attention to that? Now, this subconscious mind and the influence that it's having on you is based on things that this guy here, the conscious mind, has given or allowed it to have over time. So what it's processing right now, it's not what it's receiving right now. It's processing what has already been put in there that is now influencing what your life is gradually shaping up into. So I call this guy the influencer. Let me put this down here. I call him the influencer. I'm sure you've heard of influencers and all of that. But this is the influencer. This is a guy influencing literally your entire life. I call him the influencer. We're going to deal with this guy a little bit more. So the subconscious mind is influencing three things that I want to deal with. Okay, one, what you're becoming. Two, what you're receiving. And three, what you are doing. These three things I want to deal with. The subconscious mind is influencing what you're becoming, what you're receiving, and what you're doing. Think about it. As you're here right now, as you're listening to me right now, whatever you're becoming, imagine from a very long time ago, I guess from when you were born, you started getting information. When your brain started receiving information, when you started seeing things, you started hearing things, you started thinking about things, gradually, this part of your brain, which has always been there, has gradually been influencing what you're becoming as a person. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. In dealing with what you're becoming, now, I don't think there's anybody who just want to become anything at all. There are things you don't want to become, and there are things you want to become. So we have to take a critical look at this. Now, in order to determine what you're becoming or to know what you're becoming and whether or not you like what you're becoming, you need to ask yourself a few questions. What do I want to become? There's a question you want to ask here. There's a what question here. What do I want to become? Now, I realize that a lot of people do not know what they want to become. So therefore, you see, where you are is just by accident. I say by accident because you've not deliberately sat down to think that, hey, this is what exactly I want to become. I want to be wealthy. That's what I want to do. I want to be healthy. So when you begin to think about these things, I say write them down. Find a book. What do I want to become? Now, I'll show you why that is so important in manifesting your desires and in connection to this conscious mind. Don't forget, this is the influencer. This is the guy influencing your entire life. He is influencing, this guy, I call him a he, okay? He's influencing what you're becoming. Or let's say a she, okay? So I'm not biased. This guy's influencing what you're becoming. But in order for you to be able to have some type of control, I feel like you have to be able to know what you want to become. If you know what you want to become, it becomes a lot easier for you to now begin to deal with this guy and see what can I give this guy that is going to make it influence me in the right direction so I can become what I want to become. But a lot of people don't have even the courage to sit down and question themselves. What do I really want to become? Like, what do I really, really want to become? Like, what kind of person do I want to become? What kind of person do I want to become? Do I want to become somebody who is self-employed? Do I want to become a business owner? Like, there's a lot of things. There are different aspects of your life that you want to question yourself. Sit down and ask yourself, what do I really, really, really want to become? Because I know that there's a guy here who is influencing whether I do anything or not, what I'm becoming. So I need to be able to know what I want to become so I know if I'm headed in the right direction or not. Because if I'm not, then I have to do something about this guy here so that this guy don't tilt me towards somewhere that I don't want to be. Now, the second question I want you to ask, what are you receiving? A lot of us are receiving a lot of things that's not what we actually bargained for. If we give you a chance, that's not what you want to receive. You want to receive something else, but you're receiving something, another what, that you don't like. You see, there's a Bible verse that talks about, when you ask, you receive. Imagine you're asking the wrong things, unconsciously or consciously, and you're receiving something that's not actually what you want. Do you want love? Are you receiving love? Do you want happiness? Are you receiving happiness? Because don't forget, this guy here is influencing what you're receiving. So every single day when you get up in the morning, what you're receiving is somehow connected to this guy here that is working on your behalf, for you or against you, for you to receive whatever you're receiving. So you need to be able to ask yourself, what do I want to receive? If I understand the things that I want to receive, it helps me shape up this guy even better. So that if this guy is going to influence me, he should be influencing me towards what I actually want to receive. Do you want to receive money? If I want to receive money, it means I have to put myself in the position, this guy here, so that I can receive actually money. There are a lot of people receiving a lot of debt. They don't know why. Because they don't know what they want to receive. And because they don't know what they want to receive, they're receiving just anything. I say that because you're doing things that is bringing you the results that you haven't, but you actually would desire something else. But because you've not paid attention to this here, that what do I really want to receive? Once I figure out what I really want to receive, then I can ask myself, am I receiving what I want to receive? And if I'm not, there's a guy here that is influencing that. And I'm not paying attention to this guy. And this guy is working whether I like it or not. So if I want to have something, then I have to begin to check this guy here. Because I know what I want. I know what I want to get. I know I want to get some happiness. I know I want to receive some love. I know I want to receive good marriage. I know I want to receive a promotion. That's what I want to receive. So if I've worked for 10 years and I'm not receiving any promotion, I keep staying at one place, I need to start asking questions. Why? And that's what I'm going to show you. This guy, this influencer guy, this guy is making a lot of difference. Making a lot of, and this is inside of you. It's inside of you, working you, either for or against you. Now, the third question that I want to deal with is, what do you want to be doing? What do you want to be doing? This is a very tricky one. What do you want to be doing? Because you see, the things that people are doing today is influenced by their subconscious mind, by this influencer right here. The things that people are doing every single day is influenced by this guy here. They say you are what you repeatedly do. You become what you repeatedly do. So you're doing something that you're expecting a different results, but then you're not getting that results because what you're doing is producing a certain type of results. So my question I ask is, what do I want to be doing? So in determining what I want to be doing, I want you to think for a second. Now this, I'm telling you, I want you to sit down by yourself and then begin to write down the things that you want to become. Write down the things that you want to receive. Don't joke with it. You need to write it down. I'll show you why it's important. And then the things that you want to be doing. Because there's a lot of people doing things that they don't want to be doing. And that's a God honest truth. They're doing things that they don't want to be doing, but they've not paid attention to it. But I want you to switch that. Once you figure out the things that you're doing that you should not be doing, you ask yourself, what should I be doing instead? What do I want to be doing? Do I want to keep working for somebody? Do I want to keep working for some? Maybe you're working for somebody right now. That's what you're doing. But maybe you don't want that. Do I want to keep working for somebody? If the answer is no, you put it down. So what do I want to be doing instead? I want to be working for myself. I want to be my own boss. That's what I want to be doing instead. Do I want to keep postponing my dreams? You're somebody, you're always postponing your dreams. That's your habit. That's your second nature. And you don't know it's being influenced by this guy here. But that's what you keep doing. And you don't want to do that. So what do you want to be doing instead? You have to answer that. Because this guy is influencing what you're doing. It's influencing what your subconscious mind is influencing what you're doing. The part of your brain, which I'll be diving into that portion a little bit as I deal with these three questions. This guy is doing things that is influencing what you're doing right now. Do I want to keep avoiding? Do I want to keep piling up avoidable weight? Maybe you're gaining a lot of weight. You're eating everything you come across. That's what you're doing right now, but you don't want that. And there's something influencing you doing that. So if I want to be doing something else, if I want to be eating right, I have to think about that and write it down. Yeah, this is what I want to be doing instead. But this is what I find myself doing. And the reason I'm doing this right now is because this guy is influencing me. So now it's gearing towards, how do I deal with this guy so that he doesn't influence what I'm becoming in a negative way? He doesn't influence what I'm receiving in a negative way. He doesn't influence what I'm doing in a negative way. Do you want to keep borrowing? There's some people who are chronic borrowers. Now, there's nothing wrong with debt. If you use it, if you're borrowing right. You know, there's a funny movie that I watched. It's called Fridays. I don't know if a lot of you have seen Fridays, but my wife introduced me to Fridays. If you've not seen it, you can go check it out. Ice Cube. And in Fridays, there's a lady called what's her name? Oh boy, I forgot her name. Felicia, for those who have watched it. Now, Felicia goes to Ice Cube in the movie, and then he's asking Ice Cube early morning that, hey, can I borrow something from you? And I'm like, what is she about to borrow this morning? Now, Felicia is someone who does drugs. Okay, she does drugs, but she's conscious. And she's asking Ice Cube, hey, can I borrow something? I said, what is this girl trying to borrow? She said, can I borrow your microwave? I'm like, what? Who borrows microwave to go warm up something in her house? And I'm like, damn, that's the height of it. If your life is at a point where you're borrowing somebody's microwave, I think that's crazy. Now, there's a lot of us that are chronic borrowers. That's what you're doing right now. The question is that what you want to keep doing? If that's not what you want to keep doing, there's something that you can do to change that. But you have to appreciate and recognize that this is what I'm doing, but that's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do instead. But this is what I keep getting. Because if you don't know what you want, you can't appreciate what you're getting, which is not what you want. You don't know what you want. So when I give you apples, you take it. Because you don't really know what you want. So it's important for us to ask ourselves these questions. So that eventually, if you understand how the subconscious mind works, how this influencer guy is influencing you, you understand that, hey, I need to be able to set these intentions, that these are the things that I actually want. And that's not what I'm getting in my life. So how can I make those changes? But I need to recognize that these are the things that I want. That's why I needed to answer these three questions earlier on and write them down. Very important. Very important. Now, there's something I want to do. We said, as a man thinketh, so is he. Let's go. We're going into the brain right now. We're going into the subconscious mind. We're entering the brain. As a man thinketh, so is he. That's a powerful statement. It's a book written by Napoleon Hill. It says, Think and Grow Rich. Just think and grow rich. Damn, that's a huge statement. That's that's a bold statement. For somebody to say that think and grow rich, that's huge. And as a man thinketh, so is he. This is profound. You find it in a lot of places. A lot of great people have made that statement. Even Jesus has made that statement. As a man thinketh. Because I need you to focus on the mind. The mind. So is he. Becoming, receiving, doing. As a man thinketh. Just as the man thinketh, so is he. In other words, your entire life is playing out in your mind. That's huge. Your entire life is playing out in your mind. And there are two aspects of the mind that I've told you about. The conscious mind, the one you're constantly aware of. your surrounding, what's happening right now in the present day moment. And then the subconscious mind, the one that is internal, that is hidden in there. Those two, very key to how your life works out, and whether or not you'll be able to manifest the things that you truly desire. Because everybody walking on this planet, I guarantee you, you have something that you truly desire. A lot of us are running away from it. A lot of us do not even have the courage to even consider it, to sit there and think about it. It sounds scary. It feels scary for us. It feels nearly impossible for us. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to keep going in circles. We're going to keep going on those routines because we're even too afraid to even sit down and consider it. But that has to change. When you deal with this guy, that can change because he's going to work miracles for you. You don't need a lot of things to be able to do this. It's not easy, but it's possible. I need you to understand that. I'm going to give you an illustration that deals with these two guys, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And there's a book I want to refer to that you can look at. It says The Power of Positive Thinking. I think that's the title of the book. The Power of Positive Thinking. I want you to look. You can look at that book as well. The Power of Positive Thinking. Time with Biloneni